Thank you, Penny. And I think Penny is right. I think when you look at where we've been, and as Premier of the province, one of the things I'd really say that a common theme in everything we do is creating strong partnerships and relationships. And when most people think of partnerships within the province, is they actually think about kind of a business-to-business relationship and partnerships, but it's not that. And every time I do speak, I always mention that partnerships are really fostered by the relationship that we have, sure, with business, but with our communities, but also very importantly with the organizations and the volunteers that we have in our communities. To volunteer Mark, and Mark was right, he's chair now, and I met him just a few weeks ago at Advance 2030. It's great to see you, sir, volunteering your time in this particular an important group in our province. And to Paddy O'Daly, it is St. Patrick's week, so Debbie, don't worry about saying Danny O'Brien. It's part of the week, is what we expect. So, and I want to thank Paddy O'Daly too for stepping up, and we've noticed and known many past honorary chairs that we've had working with this group, and I can tell you, knowing Paddy and some of the others that have been involved in that capacity, I'm sure that it's something that they deserve, and they are very proud to be able to represent those individuals in the past. To Bernie Morgan, I think, who spoke on behalf of the volunteers, we were having a little side chat over lunch there, and it kind of put me back in time. 23 years old is a long ways back in time for me, but Bernie, I am so proud, because there is this myth out there in society that says that volunteers are just for older people, ingrained people in our society, and we have lots of seniors that I will tell you that are still volunteering in our community, but it's great to see Bernie represent the vast numbers of young people that we have volunteering and active in our community, so thank you very much. I want to recognize, I've got Tom here. Tom is a minister. I see Colin Holloway. Bernie's here. And I thought I saw Jerry Rogers over there somewhere. There we go, Jerry. I know you were talking about our speech from the throne yesterday, so thank you very much for that piece of fiction that Patty so eloquently described. I didn't get his preamble this morning, but I'm sure there was a piece of it that was sprinkled in there. But let me say it's a pleasure for me to be here today and to also congratulate our co-chairs. We were having a great discussion there, and I know she's going to speak a little bit later, but Ms. Cuello, thank you. And we were having a chat about the impact that you are having on lives of people that you have touched. I can tell by looking at you, you're just this genuine person that has this warm touch. So thank you very much. I can almost picture you sitting down and at a table and sharing a coffee or water or whatever it is with someone, and how that conversation would go. I can tell you that they would feel connected as I did as I was sitting next to you. So thank you very much. There's someone with an experience, I think. Well, so thank you very much for that. And Chief Boland, I was telling the story there to Bernie. I didn't really know Joe from his work as an RNC officer, so that should be good. But I did know him through his work within the community and the impact that he had on so many people in and around this area. And I can tell you that this group has picked two amazing people to actually co-chair this year's Volunteer Week. So congratulations to both of you. So the volunteer sector, 200,000 people that are actively volunteering in our province, some 46% on average of nearly 150 hours a year. Just think about that. There we go. These are incredible statistics when you think about it. And I just think if we just sit for a second or two and try and picture a community without volunteers. I know for us at the work that we do is we often interact in the volunteer base. These are the people in the communities that we go to. They are people that are advocating for change. They are people that are actually building richer and stronger communities. And it doesn't matter where you go in our province today, you will see large numbers of people that are volunteering in support of their communities. But more importantly, they're volunteering to make a difference on individuals. And it doesn't matter if it's the newborns right up to the seniors. In every single community, we have large numbers of volunteers that are making a difference. I'm not one to actually quote people when I speak too often, but I did think of Winston Churchill. It wasn't a personal chat I had with him, but he is someone that I read quite a bit about. And it was him who said that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And I think that really defines volunteers, all the volunteers that I know. It's not about what we get back in return, but as Penny said, it's about the rewards that we get when we make a difference in someone's life. So I want to commend everyone here on the amazing work that you've done. Whether, as I said, it's helping some of the most vulnerable in our communities, if it's assisting in economic development or supporting newcomers to our province, or even if it's around sporting events or community events, it is volunteers that make it happen. And I can actually speak to a story because in my own community this week we have the Winter Games occurring, and we have nearly 1,350 people that will come into a community of around 5,000 people. But my point is this, is that 500 people came out last week to help support the Newfoundland and Labrador Winter Games because those young people were coming into our community. And as I mentioned earlier, this is just one of the many communities. But it speaks to the commitment that we have to make our community and our province stronger. So it is the 40th anniversary of Volunteer Week celebrations in our province, April the 15th to the 21st. But that is only 1 week. We can actually celebrate volunteers every single week and every single day. But I do believe it's important to actually carve out that 7 days so we can actually celebrate the great work that is being done with our volunteers. And the theme, has already been mentioned, is the celebrate the value of volunteering. And then comes all the C words, building on competence, connections, and community. And this really speaks to what CSC is all about as well, when you think about the work that they do in connecting even your own associations, your own volunteers. So this initiative is one that is very special to me, has been mentioned. I spent quite a number of hours and days in my life. But I will tell you, it is like every other volunteer. The rewards actually come back to us as individuals. They help us grow. They give us the life experiences that we need to take on roles like politicians or leadership in other areas, be it private or whatever it is, wherever it ends up. But I think there's people and future leaders in this room that will certainly start, their future will be grounded on the volunteer work that you do in your communities. You're not doing it for the financial return, I can assure you that. And I can also assure you that there's no one in this room that has stepped up in your volunteer capacity because you were expecting money in return. The rewards come in a very different fashion. So thank you very much on behalf of all of us in this province, every single Newfoundlander and Labradorian, regardless of what age you are. I just want to say thank you to everyone in this work for the great work you've done, and have a great time on volunteering and celebrating Volunteer Week in April the 15th to the 21st. So thank you very, very much.